Franklin County Board of Commissioners for February 20th, 2024. As a reminder, this is a public meeting, so if you are on your cell phone, please mute your phone. And we'll begin this morning's meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Crowley.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right. Before we begin our regular agenda today, we have a couple of guests with us. First, we would like to welcome Don Brown. There he is. To the podium. Don has had an amazing career in public service. He has served in many different positions, including the county administrator for 9 years, taking over as executive director of the Franklin County Convention Facilities Authority for another 9 years. And during his time at Franklin County, Don oversaw the building of our first-class dog shelter and adoption center, the new Common Pleas Courthouse, Huntington Park, which is recognized as one of the nicest places to see a ball game in the country. I can attest to that, having been there at least dozens of times, if not more, in the United States. And so Don is retiring after more than a 50-year career. So we're proud to welcome him this morning. Don, please come up to the podium and tell us a little bit about your time in public service and what you plan to do now. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Where are you going to go in search of Tab, Don?
They've canned Tab.
They've canned
They've
Tab.
canned it.
That's good because it tastes like the can that it comes in.
But fortunately, Coke Zero is probably just as good.
Oh, nice.
Thanks for asking, though, John. Your sister and I shared that
Yes. Affinity.
drink
Yeah.
often. Thanks. So I appreciate all the opportunities that Franklin County have given me here as county administrator, and the opportunity to serve the community, and then at Convention Facilities Authority. It's a great community to live in, work in, and it's got great leadership, and it's been a pleasure working with you and for you.
Well, it's been our pleasure, that's for sure. You became county administrator when I was the clerk first. And then we worked together for several years as county commissioner. And in your time at Franklin County at the Convention Facilities Authority. And this community appreciates all of your dedication and your time and the talents and the dedication and the sacrifice of your family. And so we appreciate everything that you and your family have given to the community over the years.
Thank you very much, Commissioner O'Grady. Well, Mr. Administrator Wilson and I started on the very first day
Yeah,
together.
that's right.
And
2005.
I'm glad to see that he's continuing his service with you.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, if I may.
please.
Oh, so I just want to say thank you so much for your service. I know I'm the newest member to the county and to the board, but since I've been here, you've just been an absolute pleasure to work with, very accommodating, always returning calls, coming to the office to chat, or even when I have events down at the hotel, or if there are just things going on down at the convention center, you're always there. You pop up and you always make sure that everything is running smooth, and that it's always a pleasant experience, and not just for me, but everyone who comes down to the convention center or to the hotels, or all of the amenities that fall under CFA. And so I just want to say thank you so much, and just
Thank you
thank
very
you for
much,
always
Commissioner
having
Crowley.
the best spirit. You always have a smile. I don't know that I've ever seen you have like a bad day. I'm sure you do have them, but anytime I've encountered you, you've just always been pleasant and a pleasure to work with, Don. And thank you so much for your service.
Thank you. that convention center is sort of the community's front room, and where we welcome visitors from all across the world and the country. We'll host, as you know, the AME Church Quadrennial Conference this coming year, and it'll bring over 17,000 delegates here. It'll be the largest event we've hosted. And it couldn't have been done without the convention, the headquarters hotel that you helped support with credit guarantees. So thank you very much for your continued leadership there. It's paying for itself. That's what you expected it would do, and it has so far. And barring another pandemic, I think it will continue to do so.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Well, I know that we have a resolution for you for your time here, and would love to get a picture.
Terrific.
You can hold it. You can hold it. It's yours. Oh, absolutely.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
I need a stir.
Well, thanks, Don. All right, so if you please, next we'll have, on February 11th, we recognized the International Day of Women and Girls in Science, which is an opportunity to promote full, equal access and to participation in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics for women and girls. Gender equality has been and will continue to be a priority for all of us here at Franklin County. And one of the ways that we show it is by supporting tech women of color through our partnership with Perscalis. And here to talk more about this important day of recognition and the Tech Women of Color program is Jen Fowler-Howard, the Managing Director of Perscalis. So, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you, Commissioners. I'm Jen Fowler-Howard. I have the distinct privilege of serving as the Senior Managing Director of Perscalis Columbus. I'm excited to have with me not only the Site Director for Perscalis Columbus, Chelsea Williams, Kat Yomagachi from New Directions Career Center, and also an alum of the Tech Women of Color program. On March 8th, I was grateful to gather in this room with colleagues as Deputy County Administrator Joy Bivens stood here and expressed to you the benefits of providing a historic amount of funds to Perscalis, which would fully fund the Tech Women of Color program, utilizing the American Rescue Fund dollars provided to this community following the pandemic. We all gathered and heard about the impact of COVID on women in Franklin County and discussed the underwhelming amount of women represented in the tech industry. The data showed the pandemic resulted in the loss of 2.9 million jobs in this community, of which 63% were held by women. And although there was a rebound that happened to the economy, it specifically was not experienced by women of color. That, coupled with the fact when you look at the tech industry, women of color represent 3% of that tech workforce. So with the Rise Together Poverty Blueprint as the guide, we acknowledge the need and opportunity to act on these issues to bring together a stronger, wiser, and better Franklin County for us all. I'm grateful to each of you for the unanimous vote to provide Perscalis with the funds to establish this program. As a nonprofit organization, Perscalis stood here and stood on the fact that we have a mission that allows us to fight education equity within this community by providing a an IT training experience for people who wanted to experience it. But we recognize that the importance of launching a career in tech is much more than having the hard technical skills that are necessary. We couple those technical experiences with the soft skills that are necessary to launch a career, provide additional resources and supports, and then also support our graduates post-graduation. It was our belief that extending our work to zero in on the needs of women of color in this community was not only the perfect response to the challenges presented, but an innovative program that was needed to push this community forward and empower women who are oftentimes overlooked and can lead to change in this community. Today, I stand before you 18 months into a 2-year grant funding opportunity with you to share the following results. With the task of enrolling 200 women, to date, we have enrolled 171 with 6 months left to go. We have graduated 118 women of color into this community, of which 41 are still enrolled. We have a graduation rate of 91%. But outside of that, 100% of our graduates have graduated with at least one industry-recognized certification, and 98% of them have graduated with 2 or more industry-recognized certifications. These certifications equip them with the opportunity to launch into a career in tech as equals with people who have college degrees and other technical experience. But we recognize that it's not just about having the certifications to be successful, it's the job placement and the impact that it has on the economy following. So we're excited that 67% of our graduates, excluding the ones that just graduated on Friday, are actively working in this community because of the funding of this program. 21% are still looking, and we're working with them to provide that opportunity. There are some of them have gone through this experience and decided that they want to actually earn a degree in technology, so 6% of them are actively in school, and about 5% have decided that technology is not the space for them, but we're working on finding the space that is for them. We're grateful to Franklin County, Accenture, and Nationwide Children's Hospital for being our leading hiring partners in this work to help people launch their career. A portion of the funds were also generated for emergency assistance, to which $102,749.61 has been used to support 130 women over the last 2 years to remove barriers that were impacting their ability to fully be present in their academic journey at Perscolas. You'll remember that a portion of these funds were also used to address the benefits bridge. There have been several women who've been able to take advantage of that opportunity so that they did not have to make a choice between going to work and receiving benefits. We're excited that out of the class that just graduated, 44% of them are currently receiving benefits, and therefore will be able to give us additional data on ways that we in Franklin County can support the transition into a workforce without having to make that dreaded decision of what we do next. I can give you all of the data in regards to the work of our program, but I believe the words of our alums speak best. So I'll share these words as I close from Christy Cook, a graduate as of this past Friday. Perscolas came along during a time of transition in my life. Not that now that my children are older and family circumstances have changed, I had the opportunity to refocus on my job goals. Unfortunately, as I began my research on learning opportunities, I realized that there was nothing that seemed to fit into my budget, my life, or people who looked and identified like me or my circumstances. This left me feeling a bit defeated until I came across a Facebook advertisement about the opportunity with Perscolas. To say that the program has been transformative and life-changing to me is an understatement. My goal is not just to secure a job, but to advocate for and embody the underutilized potential of individuals taking non-traditional education routes, particularly women. I aspire to align with a forward-thinking company that values diversity and inclusion, transforming the narrative of women in the technology field. I hope to be not only a professional in this field, but also a source of inspiration for those who share the desire to break barriers and be a part of the growing technology scene here in Columbus and beyond. So today, on behalf of the 171 women who have started this program, and the additional 40 who are yet to start, on behalf of Perscolas Columbus, our partners at New Direction Career Center, we say thank you. Thank you for supporting this community. Thank you for preparing this community for the growing IT demand it is experiencing, and thank you for believing in the future of women of color in this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, and thank you for all that you do to support the women in Franklin County in this space and being a partner with the county. I'm sorry I missed the graduation on Friday. I had a conflict that ran over, but would have loved to be in attendance. I know it was wonderful, and it just gives me. I'm just inspired by it. I have shared my story before, and I think at one of the graduations, I remember when I got out of the military. So I college dropout, went to the military, was an information systems technician, and when I got out of the military, had my twins, and was on assistance, public assistance in Cleveland, and I was just looking for an opportunity, and I would have loved to have something like this coming from someone who had a top secret security clearance, already had some kind of, had several months of training and had a certification, could not find a job, but would have loved to have additional industry recognized credentials. It really probably would have put me on a path to be able to support my family in a way that I couldn't at that point in time. And I believe everything works out the way that it's supposed to, or I wouldn't be here today. But it is opportunities like that, just giving people a chance to change their life, change their circumstances, not be saddled with a whole bunch of student loan debt. I know some have chosen to go on to get a degree, and I love that for them. But being able to have a really good paying job only after 15 weeks or so with industry recognized credentials is unmatched. So really happy to hear those numbers and how we are supporting women, and that there's still additional women that are getting ready to come through the cohort. I remember talking to you last year, and you're like, we already got people on a waiting list for future cohorts. Love to hear it. So thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Now, DCA Bivens isn't with us this morning, so I guess I'll put our budget director, Zach Telerik, on the spot this morning. Zach, how many years, or maybe, how many years have we been with Perscolas now? It's been several, right?
Yes, it has.
Well, that's good enough answer. That's a good enough answer. Several's a good enough answer. So this has been a great partnership, and we appreciate the work that you guys are doing. And this is, so, and we're not only glad that we partner with you, but we're glad that we're also helping and we're one of your top employers as well.
Yes.
So it's great that we're helping women through the program, but then also employing them after graduation. So it's a great program, and we're happy to be partnered with you. So thank you.
Thank you all.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
So, and thanks for being here this morning as well. Before we head to our regular agenda, I want to encourage everyone to check out our Talk of the County podcast. The tonguest episode that came out yesterday and is my favorite one so far, I'd say that tongue in cheek, features a great conversation that we had along with myself and County Administrator Wilson with Dr. Hassan Jeffries, a professor of African American history at Ohio State University. We covered everything from the civil rights movement to today's politics, and we also had a lot of fun recording it. So please be sure to add to Talk of the County to your podcast app if you put it on your podcast of choice. But you can find that on our website. Actually, I didn't do that one. That's me reading Commissioner Boyce's words. I'm looking at this going, wait a minute, I didn't do that one. I did another one. I did a couple of podcasts last week as well. I'm reading this going, wait a second. They wrote that for Commissioner Boyce. Commissioner Boyce did a podcast with Dr. Jeffries at Ohio State, not me. I don't want to make it sound like I did make it sound like I did that. I did some podcasts over in D.C. last week with Administrator Wilson. I'm just sitting here reading the script like I know what I'm talking about. So, but there'll be more that they're going to put up from our trip to the legislative conference last week in D.C., where Administrator Wilson and I talked to some of our county commissioner colleagues from across the country. We had a lot of fun doing those with Denise Winfrey, who's the immediate past president of the National Association of Counties. And then we also talked to my buddy from Southwest Louisiana, Tony Guillory. So about the big differences between being a county commissioner in Central Ohio and being a county commissioner a police juror, because they have parishes in Louisiana. So being a police juror in a parish in Southwest Louisiana. And at the same time doing this very similar work that we do here. So anyway, check out Talk of the County.
If I can, real quick,
Please.
Commissioner O'Grady, I do want to make a plug for Dr. Hassan Jeffries, as he does have a podcast called Teaching Hard History, and it is so amazing. I absolutely love it. And so since it is Black History Month, if you have not heard his podcast series, I'm sure you can get it wherever you get your podcasts. For me, it's on Apple, but it really, really, I mean, he has it all the time, but since it is Black History, go on and learn some Black history, or just American history in general. But it is really a really great teaching tool, not just for adults, but also for kids, for students. He puts a lot of time and effort. He brings a lot of historians to the conversations, and it's really great. I've had my daughters listen to it. So that's a plug for Dr. Hassan Jeffries, also the brother of Leader Jeffries.
Hakeem Jeffries, yeah. And we've had Dr. Jeffries here as a guest before, so he's not unfamiliar to Franklin County.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's Hakeem Jeffries' brother.
Great guy.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll move on with our regular agenda. If we could get an approval of the minutes of the December 5th, 2023 general session.
So moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
yes.
Thank you. The minutes have been approved.
All right, the Domestic Relations Court.
Resolution number 12324, resolution authorizing a 2-year agreement with Daniel L. Davis, Ph.D. Incorporated, Forum Ohio LLC, and NetCare Corporation for various psychological services in the amount of $700,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Alex Coughlin, Fiscal Manager. This resolution is requesting the approval of 3 agreements for psychological evaluations that have been ordered by the court. The agreements are with Daniel Davis Incorporated in the amount of $125,000, Forum Ohio LLC in the amount of $350,000, and NetCare Corporation in the amount of $225,000. The cost for each evaluation will remain fixed for 2 years. Pending any questions, the court requests the approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 12324.
Second,
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
yes.
Resolution number 12324 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, the County Auditor.
Resolution number 12424, resolution authorizing a 12-month extension of the master service agreement with Jotform Incorporated for the procurement of an online form builder and form creator in the amount of $9,618.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Trenton Weaver, Deputy General Counsel in the Auditor's Office. Just the one item for you this morning. This is a resolution for a 12-month renewal of the Master Service Agreement with Jotform, Inc. for the use of their online form builder, form creator, and hosting service. Our office has used the service to convert approximately 70 paper forms and applications to web forms. In total, we've seen just under 55,000 constituent users of the forms in the past year. We anticipate more forms being created and converted this year. The use of the service improves the overall accuracy of the completed forms. Additionally, the services help make the forms ADA compliant for the visually impaired and can also be translated into other languages. Pending any questions, we would ask for your approval of this resolution. Thank you.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 12424.
Second,
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
yes.
Resolution number 12424 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Engineer.
Resolution number 12524, Evans, Meckwort, Hamilton, and Tilton Incorporated, consulting engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County engineer by providing detailed engineering design services for the Renner Road Improvement Project, Norwich Township, Franklin County, in the amount of $112,250.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brad Foster, Franklin County Engineer. Commissioners, our first resolution seeks approval of a contract with EMH&T Consulting Engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County Engineer by providing detailed design services for the Renner Road Improvement Project. EMH&T is a local engineering firm. This is a Franklin County a Franklin County Transportation Improvement District project that is funded by OPWC and private development dollars. It is located in western Franklin County and Norwich Township. The project seeks to improve Renner Road by adding a two-way left-hand turn lane, drainage upgrades, and pedestrian infrastructure. The project will also replace the structure over Clover Grove Ditch. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval Resolution 125-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 12524 has been adopted. Resolution number 12624, establishing, altering, and widening of McVeigh Boulevard, Township Road number 1759, and Millbrae Road, Township Road number 2531, Perry Township, Franklin County, Ohio, declared necessary.
Commissioners, our next four resolutions are very similar in nature, and they are part of the 2022 Safe Routes to School program utilizing ODOT funding. As mentioned in briefing, the Safe Routes to School program provides funding and technical assistance to encourage and enable students in grades K through 12 to walk or ride their bikes to school. This program will reimburse up to 100% of eligible cost, up to a cap of $400,000 for the 22 program for each infrastructure project. Declaring the project necessary is the first legislative step and will allow our office to prepare plans and specifications and ultimately allow for the construction of the improvements. The first resolution will declare necessary the improvements of McVeigh Boulevard and Millbrae Road. The project seeks to implement sidewalks, ADA curb ramps, and crosswalk striping around Brookside Elementary School and Perry Township. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval Resolution 126-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 12624 has been adopted. Resolution number 12724, establishing, altering, and widening of Clubview Boulevard South, Township Road number 2368, and Candlewood Drive, Township Road number 2374, Perry Township, Franklin County, Ohio, declared necessary.
The next Safe Route to Schools resolution seeks implement of sidewalks, ADA curb ramps, crosswalk striping at Candlewood Drive and Clubview Boulevard South near Worthington Hills Elementary School in Perry Township. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
There are no comments or questions, move for approval Resolution 126-24.
That was 127.
Or 127-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 12724 has been adopted. Resolution number 12824, establishing, altering, and widening of Briggs Road, Township Road number 1754, and Josephine Avenue, Township Road number 1752, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, declared necessary.
The third Safe Routes to School resolution seeks the implementation of rectangular rapid flashing beacons with lighting, sidewalks, and ADA curb ramps, along with crosswalk striping on Briggs Road near West Franklin Elementary School and Franklin Heights High School and Franklin Township. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
There are no comments or questions, move for approval Resolution 128-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 12824 has been adopted. Resolution 12924, establishing, altering, and widening of Stiles Avenue, Township Road number 1579, and Palmetto Street, Township Road number 1584, Prairie Township, Franklin County, Ohio, declared necessary.
The last Safe Routes to School project seeks to implement a rectangular rapid flashing beacon with lighting, sidewalks, ADA curb ramps, and crosswalk striping at Stiles Avenue at the Stiles Elementary School crossing in Perry Township. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 129-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 12924 has been adopted. Resolution number 13024. Report first of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Winchester Pike at Watkins Road and Askins Road Improvement Project, Madison Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $3,500.
Commissioners, our next resolution seeks compensation for one property owner abutting the Winchester Pike at Watkins Road and Askins Road Improvement Project in Madison Township. The project seeks to construct and upgrade pedestrian infrastructure at the intersection. We negotiated with the property owners, and compensation is based upon appraised fair market value. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 130-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 13024 has been adopted. Resolution number 13124. Report fifth of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Cleveland Avenue from Huey Road to Cook Road Improvement Project, Clinton Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $186,820.
Commissioners, these next four resolutions are similar in nature and seek compensation for property owners abutting the Cleveland Avenue from Huey Road to Cook Road Improvement Project in Clinton Township. This project seeks to improve pedestrian safety and access management along the corridor. Our office has been continuously negotiating with all the property owners along this project. We were not able to successfully reach an agreement with these last four property owners. Therefore, in order to keep the project on schedule, these resolutions will provide for eminent domain proceedings in the Common Pleas Court. The appraised fair market value will be deposited in escrow with the clerk of course, and we will continue to work closely with the prosecutor's office as negotiations with the property owners continue. The first resolution involves the acquisition of approximately 0.56 acres along the Northern Lights Shopping Center. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 131-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 13124 has been adopted. Resolution number 13224. Report 6 of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Cleveland Avenue from Huey Road to Cook Road Improvement Project, Clinton Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $1,355.
This resolution involves a temporary easement of approximately 0.44 acres. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 132-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 13224 has been adopted. Resolution number 13324. Report 7th of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Cleveland Avenue from Huey Road to Cook Road Improvement Project, Clinton Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $447.
This resolution involves a temporary easement of approximately 0.13 acres. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 133-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 13324 has been adopted. Resolution number 13424. Report 8th of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Cleveland Avenue from Huey Road to Cook Road Improvement Project, Clinton Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $2,055.
The final resolution establishing sums of compensation for the Cleveland Avenue from Huey Road to Cook Road Improvement Project involves a temporary easement of approximately 0.67 of an acre in size. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 134-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voted Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 13424 has been adopted. Resolution number 13524, preliminary allocation and final encumbrance of county motor vehicle license fee $5 funds for the city of Reynoldsburg in the amount of $45,000.
Commissioners, our final resolution is with the city of Reynoldsburg has submitted a request for license fee funds to pay for the improvement of Wagner Road between East Main Street and East Broad Street. This is a collaborative project between Franklin County and the city of Reynoldsburg. This project seeks to widen and rebuild Wagner Road along with pedestrian facilities. The county engineer has viewed the proposed use of funds and has determined that they meet the allowable use. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 13524.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 13524 has been adopted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brad. All right, to the treasurer's office.
Resolution number 13624, resolution authorizing a third amendment to the agreement for investment advisory services with Meter Public Funds Incorporated in the amount of $82,500.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Jacqueline Treadwell. I'm the Budget and Purchasing Coordinator for the Franklin County Treasurer. The Franklin County Treasurer's Office is seeking a resolution authorizing a third amendment to the Agreement for Investment Advisory Service with Meter Public Funds Incorporated, allowing for a fourth renewal term. The original contract expired on January 31st, 2020, and was renewed for an additional 3 years. That's the first renewal term. The first renewal term expired on January 31st, 2023, and the original contract renewed for an additional 6 months, allowing for the second renewal term, which expired August 1st, 2023. The third renewal term also allowed for an additional 6-month extension of the original contract, which expired February 1st, 2024. This fourth renewal term will allow for an additional 6-month extension beginning on the date of the Board of Commissioners' signatures through August 1st, 2024. The total cost to the county shall not exceed $82,500 for services provided to the Treasurer's Office. Barring any questions, we respectfully ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 13624.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 13624 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Franklin County Data Center.
Resolution number 13724, resolution authorizing a contract agreement with People Driven Technology Incorporated for consulting services in the amount of $75,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Julie Lust with the Data Center. Today, technology is a part of almost every service provided to the residents and businesses of Franklin County. We are all able to offer better services in a more efficient manner than before. But with this convenience comes a large responsibility to ensure that that technology infrastructure is always available and secure. Our technology infrastructure has grown in size and complexity to over 7,000 endpoint and 2,500 network devices, 700 servers, and hundreds of databases. This contract with People Driven Technologies will provide an additional layer of review of our technology strategic plans and project designs. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 137-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 13724 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. The Public Defender.
Resolution number 13824, resolution authorizing a supplemental contract with Mapsys Incorporated to provide customization to the software for the migration to OPD Online, the Franklin County Board of Commissioners, and the Franklin County Public Defender Commission in the amount of $120,000.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Christy Clarizio representing the Franklin County Public Defender's Office. This resolution is a supplemental contract with Mapsys Inc. from 2022. A phase 4 of this contract is needed to customize our software to be able to migrate to the OPD Online software. This project is expected to be completed by year end with the total price not to exceed $120,000. Pending any questions, I respectfully ask your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 138-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 13824 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christie. The Office on Aging.
Resolution number 13924, resolution authorizing a contract with Hands On Central Ohio doing business as LSS 211 Central Ohio for the development, hosting, and maintenance of a resource database access site in the amount of $28,585.47.
Good morning, Commissioners, County Administration. Shonda Wingo, Director for the Franklin County Office on Aging. The Franklin County Office on Aging is a single entry point of information, referral, advocacy, crisis intervention services specific to older adults residing in Franklin County. FCOA has achieved accreditation through Inform USA, formerly known as AIRS, or Alliance of Information and Referral Service Systems, as an agency specialty agency for such services. This resolution authorizes a contract agreement with the Franklin County Office on Aging and Hands On Central Ohio doing business as LSS 211 for the hosting and administration of a resource database access site with 1 year option for renewal. The contract will begin effective until December 31st of 2024 and is not to exceed the total dollar amount of $28,585.47. This resolution supports goal number 9 and goal number 10 of the Rise Together Blueprint. Pending any questions, we respectfully request approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 139-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 13924 has been adopted. Resolution number 14024, resolution authorizing the Franklin County Office on Aging to enter into an agreement with Levy Premium Food Service LP for food and non-alcoholic beverage services in the amount of $10,500.
Celebrating its 22nd year, the Franklin County Office on Aging partners with the Columbus Clippers to host its annual Franklin County Office on Aging Day, also known as Clippers Day. At Huntington Park, Clippers Day provides seniors age 60 and older with discount tickets, prices of $6 for reserved seating and $5 for bleacher seating. It is a day that allows seniors throughout Central Ohio the opportunity to rekindle their love for their American pastime baseball, as well as interact with other seniors from the area. Clippers Day also allows seniors the opportunity to access resourceful information from various community organizations. During the game, seniors will be treated to a free box lunch and a bottled water, which will be provided by the Franklin County Office on Aging. Transportation will also be provided to senior groups of 10 or more at no cost through various FCOA transportation providers. This resolution requests that June 27, 2024 be proclaimed Franklin County Office on Aging Day with the Columbus Clippers and authorizes an agreement with Levy Restaurants to provide food and non-alcoholic beverage services to the Franklin County seniors in the total amount not to exceed $10,500. Pending any questions, we respectfully request approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 140-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 14024 has been adopted. Resolution number 14124, resolution authorizing an amendment between Franklin County Children's Services and Franklin County Office on Aging for kinship caregiver support in the amount of $300,000.
The Franklin County Office on Aging Kinship Support Program supports adults age 55 and older caring full-time for minor children whose biological parents are unable to do so. In 2023, FCOA received 160 referrals, so that's 160 families, with a total of 196 children within those homes requesting kinship services. The Kinship Support Program helps with a variety of free short-term services that can be accessed once per calendar year. However, funding through FCOA Kinship Support Program is limited in the needs in providing those needs to the older residents. The Franklin County Office on Aging entered into a contract agreement with the Franklin County Children's Services on June 13, 2023, under the approval of Resolution Number 467-23 for the provision of providing kinship caregiver support. This resolution authorizes an amendment between the Franklin County Children's Services and the Franklin County Office on Aging to use funding provided through the FCCS to provide kinship support services. This funding will be awarded quarterly with a total dollar amount not to exceed $300,000 from the period of January 1st, 2024 through December 31st of 2024. This resolution supports goal number 12 of the Rise Together Blueprint, and pending any questions, we respectfully request approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 14124.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 14124 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shonda, Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
Resolution number 14224, resolution authorizing a grant agreement with Ohio Business Development Center for support to the construction plan room and business center that serves small and minority business owners and contractors in the amount of $85,000.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Tamika Bumper, Economic Equity Administrator for the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. The Ohio Business Development Center recognizes that the construction industry is booming in the greater Columbus region and therefore is committed to equipping small, minority, and disadvantaged and women-owned businesses within Franklin County, Ohio, with the necessary tools to thrive in a competitive economic environment. The Ohio Business Development Center operates the construction plan room and business center, which meets the needs of Central Ohio's small and minority business owners and contractors. Its goal is to serve as a hub for entrepreneurs and contractors to meet, collaborate, and bid on local projects, receive assistance with writing business and marketing plans, as well as gain access to business legal aid, assistance, and county services. This agreement is a one-year agreement to serve approximately 325 small minority-owned businesses with targeting trainings, networking, business resources that will help them to thrive in the local economy. This resolution supports the Rise Together Blueprint Goal number 1, increasing employers' engagement in neighborhoods of concentrated poverty through creation of living wage and high-paying jobs for residents. Rhonda Barber, Executive Director for the Ohio Business Development Center, is here today to answer any questions that you may have, and pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution. If I can get that out.
Ms. Barber? All right.
Good morning, Franklin County Commissioners. Happy Black History Month.
Good morning.
I am Rhonda Barber, and I'm the Executive Director of the Ohio Business Development Center. And I want to express my heartfelt thanks for your ongoing support. Your funding has been crucial in helping local minority and women-owned businesses grow and thrive. Last year, we had 246 businesses register for our 35 educational sessions covering topics like estimating, blueprint reading, contracts, and more. These sessions have boosted our participants' skill and knowledge. I want to thank our partners in our construction industry like Gilbane, Elford, Ascension Construction Solutions, HCI Inspectors, and James Jones is the owner of that company, and he has been very instrumental in helping. He comes over and teaches classes. He gives his business card out, so he's become a mentor to some of our contractors, and they've provided invaluable networking and mentoring opportunities. With your support, we also helped 10 companies complete the EPA-led renovator certification process, and through that opened doors for them with Columbus City Schools, and they were immediately able to go and get jobs. Our partnership with the Small Business Legal Aid, we've been able to offer legal clinics and classes. Our Certification 101 class, which I teach, we've personally connected 23 businesses with certification partners like Franklin County, Columbus City Schools, and ODOT. Your investment in the OBDC Plan Room and Business Center is vital for the growth of our community. It shows your dedication to being inclusive, intentional, and providing economic prosperity in Franklin County. On behalf of OBDC and the businesses we serve, thank you for your foresight and support. Together, we're making Franklin County strong. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 14224.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 14224 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 14324, Resolution authorizing the county administrator to enter into a funding agreement with the Community Shelter Board to develop and implement strategies that decrease homelessness in Franklin County in the amount of $6,079,390.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rochelle Pride, Interim Director for Economic Development and Planning. This is an agreement with the Community Shelter Board to develop and implement strategies that decrease homelessness in Franklin County. The purpose of the program is to stabilize the individuals' and families' lives and culminate their securing permanent housing. To support this initiative, the Franklin County Board of Commissioners shall grant the Community Shelter Board quarterly installments that shall reflect the conveyance tax proceedings actually collected during the preceding quarter, calculated at the rate of 5 cents per $100 of the value of transferred real property and manufactured homes and supplemental general fund monies. The program is funded for the total amount of $6,079,390 from real estate conveyance fees collected and the general fund dollars. This resolution does support goal number 5 of our Rise Together blueprint in increasing the supply of and equitable opportunity to access quality housing. Pending any questions, we would seek your approval of this resolution.
There are no comments or questions. Move for approval of Resolution 143-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 143-24 has been adopted. Resolution number 144-24, resolution authorizing the county administrator to enter into a funding agreement with the Affordable Housing Trust to create more affordable home ownership and rental housing and to strengthen neighborhoods within Franklin County in the amount of $3,700,000.
The Affordable Housing Trust was created as an independent, not-for-profit entity in 2001 in response to the effort by the county and the city of Columbus to create more affordable home ownership and rental housing and to strengthen neighborhoods within Columbus and Franklin County. To support those affordable housing initiatives, the Franklin County Board of Commissioners shall grant to the Affordable Housing Trust quarterly installments that will reflect the conveyance tax proceeds actually collected during the preceding quarter, calculated at that rate of 5 cents per $100 of the value of transferred real property and manufactured homes, in the amount of $3,700,000 for real estate conveyance fees. Today, we have with us Lark Mallory, President and CEO of the Affordable Housing Trust, to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, and thank you, Commissioners, for inviting me out today. I never get the opportunity, or not as much as I'd like, to talk about all that AHT is doing. I do want to acknowledge the Commissioners, but also to acknowledge some developers who came with me today so that we can see who AHT is funding. Please just wave your hands. These are our emerging developers with our Emerging Developers Accelerator program. The commissioners fund them for both soft loans and hard loans. I actually prepared a PDF presentation for you, or a PowerPoint presentation. I understand that you will be given the slides later. If you desire to have me come in and answer any questions that you may have, please just let me know. AHT in both the City of Columbus and Franklin County have been partners for almost 23 years now. During that 23-year period, AHT has loaned out over $325 million, creating or preserving 14,000 units of affordable housing in both the City of Columbus and Franklin County. In their slides, so I thought I would be clicking. Just in last year alone, we had our busiest year yet, loaning out over $68 million, creating or preserving 1,400 units of affordable housing. 840 units were between 30% and 80% AMI. Area median income. Who earns 30% AMI? We're talking about our minimum wage workers. So when we bought that Starbucks this morning, we're talking about the barista at Starbucks. Who earns 80%? Those are police officers. Teachers are only at 60% AMI. So when we are funding units between 30 and 80%, we're funding our most needed individuals: teachers, police officers, firefighters. In addition to those 840 units between 30 and 80% AMI, we also funded 581 units between 80 and 100% AMI. I mentioned our Emerging Developers Accelerator program. Thus far, we've had 24 graduates come through the program, and we have cohort number 3 here with us today. They're going through the program right now. That's 6 months of technical classroom assistance, followed by 5 hours of free consulting, free for them, but AHT pays, and then we fund their projects. In addition to the monies that you have funded for the EDAP, we also make sure they have access to capital. What we do know when we talk about the RISE blueprint, what we do know is that Black and brown and women developers have traditionally been left out of the access to capital market. What have our emerging developers done? They've done almost 10 projects, or they have done 10 projects. They've created 79 units of affordable housing. AHT has made $7.8 million in loans to them and $500,000 in soft loans. The soft loans that we make through the EDAP program is very similar to what you do with your capital magnet fund. And with the larger developers, we just make those types of dollars available for our smaller developers. I actually had a few slides to show you what the capital stack looks like. You know me, I can get really nerdy really fast, but since you can't see those, I will wait to answer any questions about those capital stacks at a later date.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming down and talking with us and letting us know what is all going on at AHT. Thank you for your leadership. And thank you for being a partner with the county in moving our vision forward for affordable housing to support our residents, or I like to say our neighbors, that are at every part of the income scale. As you talked about, 30% are the minimum wage. We know we need somewhere between 20 and 30%, but all the way up to 80 and 100%. And we support, we absolutely support projects at every end of the spectrum, but we couldn't move our vision forward if it wasn't for partners like you, AHT, you know, being committed to what we're committed to. And so thank you. I do want to just clarify just a little bit, because these funds don't necessarily support EDAP. That is a different, we support that with other dollars, correct? Or are you using some of these dollars to support EDAP as well?
We do both.
Okay.
So the EDAP, we do soft loans, very similar to the Capital Magnet Fund, but we also use our regular balance sheet to make loans to them as well.
Okay, all right. All right, just thank you for that clarification. And I know we met with Administrator Wilson, and we had lunch a couple or 2 weeks ago now. And I hope that's the slide presentation you're talking about, or is there another presentation? Or you added to it?
I constantly update them, but that is the slide presentation.
But it was educational for me to be able to see. I mean, they know I ask a lot of questions. I like to see. I'm a visual learner, and so being able to see how the capital stack comes together, how our contribution makes a difference for individuals and other developers was instrumental, and I really appreciate that. And I think, you know, to have that happen more often. I know you do send quarterly reports. Thank you for doing that, because, you know. Thank you. I'll just say that. Thank you for sending those. I do look at them, but it matters for us, especially, like, I talk about housing all the time, every single day, multiple times a day. Did it this morning at 7:30 with DCA Bivens. Housing and parking. Housing and parking are the things that I talk about the most. And so being able to see and know what's going on with the county's dollars, our residents' taxpayer dollars, makes it easier for me to do my job when I'm talking to the community and they're like, well, what are you doing with affordable housing? We have one organization that always is asking, and whatever we do seems to never be good enough. But to know that for the majority of the residents in the county, we are making a concerted effort with you and other partners, but you're here today to not only just build more housing, but also preserve. So thank you for your leadership.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for being here today. Thank you guys for being here today. So what we need to work on is, you know, these projects that we're working on, that everybody's working on, we can't just be doing these projects only in the city of Columbus, or only in the city of Whitehall, or only in the city of Reynoldsburg. You know, we have too many communities in this, in Franklin County, where a project that's, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80% of AMI isn't welcome. And we have to do something about that because, you know, we have every community in this, in Central Ohio and Franklin County wants Franklin County's investment, you know, but then they don't wanna, they don't want to see our vision, as Commissioner Crowley puts it. They don't want to see things the same way that we see them. They want to come to us and they want to ask us for our participation in our vision, but they don't want to. They don't want to talk to us about doing a project that's 30% of AMI. They want to talk to us about, you know, investing in a project, you know, and I won't name. I'd love to name, you know, the communities, but we don't have to name them because we all know who they are. But they don't want to. I don't know why I hold back, because I rarely hold back, but it would just be nice this morning. It's a Tuesday morning. We'll just be nice. But, you know, folks that you know, that want our dollars and want our investment, but then don't want to play by our you know, our rules. And it's, you know, but we have other developers that come to us and they want our money and they want it at, you know, 80% or 100% of AMI, but then when we talk to them and we let them know what our rules are, what our you know, requirements are, then they work with us. And they agree to do business the way that we want to do business, because they understand what our vision is. They understand what we're trying to do. But there's others who simply don't want to do that, and there's communities that don't want to do that. Well, shame on them. Shame on those communities, you know. You know, if you don't want to have, if you don't want to have a development that you know, that is supporting police officers and firefighters and teachers and nurses, then you know what, you don't need Franklin County's money. That's, you know, that's the way we see it. That's the way I see it. That's the way Commissioner Crowley sees it. I know that's the way she sees it. I know that's the way Commissioner Boyce sees it. You know, if there are communities in this county that are all about building developments that aren't going to be willing to support the type of folks that are employed, like everybody sitting in this room, then, you know, then they don't need our money. You know, apparently they can afford to build their projects and their developments without our money. So,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not our money, the community's money, the residents' money.
I've never seen you hold back, Commissioner O'Grady.
Well,
so.
I'm, you know, trying to be a kinder, gentler gentleman. I don't know why.
You don't hold back with me, but okay.
But no, I will say, to piggyback off of him, and I'll name a community, and not naming to throw people under the bus, but I want the viewing audience to really understand the issues that we are facing when it comes to housing and the challenges in a growing community. And I'm excited about this growth, right? And we should be. I mean, the Central Ohio's fastest growing region in the country. But I was at Leadership Dublin a month ago, right? And I absolutely love the fact that they keep asking me to come out there and talk. And I was there with the mayor. The mayor of Dublin is the city council, what we consider city council president, 2 township trustees. And one of the township trustees was saying how, because the 25 participants, like, they kept asking about housing and, like, what are we doing to address this? And, you know, the one township trustee was like, you know, I'm kind of the one that's, like, trying to protect our township. It's a rural township. And I said, I get that. And for the county, I'm willing to participate and collaborate with the communities that want to collaborate with us. At the end of the day, the community will make that township development's going to happen either way. So it will be the community who puts that demand on them. It will not be Franklin County. But for the municipalities who want to partner, we got money. And we put our money where our mouth is. And so it's unfortunate, you know, and I had to say, for the county commissioners, we think about all of the townships. We think about all of our community. We have more than almost 600 farms in Franklin County. So for everybody to think that it's an urban place, a lot of places are urban, but we have rural communities that are being developed and want to be able to protect that farmland, and we should be able to have conversations with them. And what does development look like for them, right? And how can we support, you know, a legacy and farms and that land staying in their family, but also development's going to happen. So how can we do it in a way that takes all those things into consideration? But in the places that you have, you know, people trying to protect, and I'm just like, but, you know, it's, what are you protecting them from, right? Versus, you know, being welcoming. And you got police, you got teachers, you got firefighters, you got baristas who live in this area too, and they should be able to buy a home, which we also saw what they say about affordable housing in Dublin anyways, right? And so when I think about how people move to Dublin because of the schools, right, who will be house poor, you know, just for the school district, I think about the teachers who teach there, right? And where do they get to buy a house? The home prices up there are extremely high. We also know the average income for individuals is between $82,000 and $87,000. But we know that's not necessarily a teacher's salary. Right. And so they should be able to buy a home as well in that place, or have density, right? There could be apartments, and that's a whole, you know, a whole thing. Or we have in Hilliard, where we got Save Hilliard. Save them from what?
Don't get me started.
I mean, I know that's where you
Don't
kind
get
of
me started.
And so words matter and language matters, right? And as someone who represents the county and all of its residents, when I hear like save a community, when we're just talking about development happening so other people can live there, live, work, and play. I take all those things, I know my colleagues take all those things into considerations, and I know that you're trying to work as much as possible with people in the region, other municipalities, to really understand what the challenges are. But how can this be a partnership? It is going to happen. People are moving here, development's gonna happen, density is gonna happen, but how can we do it in a way that preserves whatever historical things need to be taken into consideration, but also do it in a partnership and not have it something be forced on them, because it will be forced.
I don't know how long I have, but can I just say a couple of things just as follow-up? I think it's interesting that you noted the number of farms in Franklin County. We do want to preserve some agricultural land. If we aren't smart about density and building where the county already has infrastructure, then we are going to mow over the agricultural land, and those very same communities who don't want density will then lose agricultural land. And then I must say that we're also trading density for transportation issues. We know that we have this Link Us effort, and I'm co-chairing one of the committees on equitable transit-oriented development. But if we aren't smart about where we build, then we just trade it for more cars on the freeway. And we cannot grow. You mentioned that we are the fastest growing region in the entire country. We cannot grow if we don't solve our housing issues. Workers need a place to sleep.
Absolutely, I know.
Just
Make it
really
nice.
quick, I just want to say, you know, Lark Mallory, and I said this to Commissioner Crawley, it's funny watching you stand here and be as humble as you possibly can, but you are one of the dopest leaders in this space. And I'm going to commend you on, you know, having a vision, investing in people, because what we're doing, everyone mentions a poverty blueprint plan. Rhonda, I wanted to say she was dope as well. What we're doing is you are all partnering, the commissioners, you are partnering in rewriting history. There was a time when we talked about development, it didn't look like us and it didn't look like women. So thank you for being bold. Thank you for partnering with the commissioners. Commissioners, thank you for your vision, because not only are we disrupting poverty, we're building wealth. So thank you.
I had to take off my glasses because I get emotional, and she knew I was going to, but thank you.
Yeah. Just one thing real quick before I go ahead and make this motion, when we're talking about the farms here in Franklin County, we do know that there are some that are prospering, and then there are those that are not doing as well as they would have expected, right? And so and again, this is for the viewing audience, I think when we talk about preserving agricultural land or imbalancing that with development, we have to look at how are we partners with homeowners, right, who don't want to give up land, or if they have to, or they don't want to lose their farm, but can do something in a way that provides revenue for them and their family. We should be doing that. And that's why all these conversations matter, in being partners with homeowners in balancing that with development and understanding, that we are growing, and people might be a little bit uncomfortable about what that looks like, and also need to be educated. But there are opportunities. I'll just say that. There's balance and there's opportunities. So with that, I will move for approval of Resolution 144-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 144-24 has been adopted.
Thank you. And I know I'm not allowed to do it now, but can I get a picture before we leave? When the session is over, just with my emerging developers and the commissioners?
Please.
Thank you.
Resolution number 145-24. Resolution authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to approve the attached subordination agreements to allow Edmund A. Coleman to refinance his mortgage at 2208 Mifflin Boulevard, Mifflin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, 43219.
Thank you. The subordination agreement instrument for Edmund A. Coleman at 2208 Mifflin Boulevard, Columbus, Ohio, 43219. The Board of Commissioners hold 2 mortgage liens for this property, which secures the loans in the amount of $2,125 and $4,458.50 on the property. Mr. Coleman is requesting to subordinate these loans to refinance his home, and all requirements for the subordination of these liens have been met, and the property taxes are current. Pending any questions, we will respectfully ask your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 145-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 145-24 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 146-24. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to approve a no-cost extension of the grant agreement with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office through the FY 2021 Justice Assistance Grant as authorized by the Bureau of Justice Assistance.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. In June of 2022, the Board of Commissioners awarded the Franklin County Sheriff's Office FY 2021 Justice Assistance Grant to support a range of public safety initiatives, including the hiring of an analyst for the HOPE Task Force and overtime for the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force and dedicated warrants enforcement. The original grant period was scheduled to terminate on December 31st, 2023, and via this resolution, we are seeking your approval of an extension through September 30th, 2024, to allow for the successful completion of deliverables. Pending any questions, I would respectfully ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 146-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 146-24 has been adopted. Resolution number 147-24. Resolution authorizing a professional service contract agreement for community health worker services for residents served via Safer Station in the amount of $25,000.
Commissioners, as you know, our office utilizes peer support staff and community health workers to support a range of direct service programs. These contract staff literally are the lifeblood of our programs, and we could not operate as efficiently, compassionately, and robustly without them. This resolution seeks your approval of a professional services contract with Ms. Alicia Payne in the amount of $25,000 to support the Safer Stations program, which provides immediate linkage and treatment referral and serves as a deflection option for law enforcement. Ms. Alicia Payne is a certified community health worker and comes to us from Franklin County Public Health, where she served as an intern. Funding to support this contract is through the FY 2022 Comprehensive Opioid and Substances of Abuse Program, and this resolution supports Goal 9 of the Rise Together Blueprint for Reducing Poverty in Franklin County.
Great. If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 147-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 14724 has been adopted. Resolution number 14824, resolution authorizing the acceptance of a subgrant award from Franklin County Public Health Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Overdose Data to Action Limiting Overdose Through Collaborative Actions in Localities Grant Program in the amount of $261,941.
Commissioners, the Overdose Data to Grant is intended to reduce unintentional overdose deaths, expand harm reduction efforts, and serve as a catalyst for community innovation and collaboration. Through acceptance of this subgrant award in the amount of $261,941, the Office of Justice Policy and Programs will be able to support the hiring of 3 new full-time positions, including a dedicated peer support specialist supervisor, a full-time harm reduction specialist to work with individuals receiving medication-assisted treatment and leaving the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction, and a full-time peer support specialist to augment our work in the Franklin County Jail, working with individuals receiving pre-release medication-assisted treatment. The Overdose Data to Action Grant is a multi-year grant initiative from the Centers for Disease Control, and so we are confident sustainment of these 3 new positions will be supported for up to 5 years. This resolution supports Goal 9 of the Rise Together Blueprint for reducing poverty in Franklin County. Pending any questions, we would ask for your approval to accept this subgrant award and establish the 3 full-time positions.
I just have a comment. I said this on Thursday at briefing that I would say it today, that I really am excited about this resolution in particular because, you know, as we think about addressing addiction or addressing like recidivism, that the way that we will do it is one person at a time and one hand at a time. And you know, I was saying on Thursday that when I was in the legislature and I was on the CIIC, or the Correctional Institution Inspection Committee, and I would get letters all the time about individuals who had been in prison, who had addiction issues and never got an opportunity to go through any treatment during their time, and felt like when they came back into the community that, one, they just would go back to relapse, that they didn't think that the factors that contributed to them being incarcerated had been alleviated. And I was trying to say to my colleagues in the legislature that this is, like, we have to think about warm handoffs. And I know that when you think about all the people that we have in our prisons and jails who deal with addiction, they're like, we could never address this. This is too overwhelming. But it is when you don't have an infrastructure, and it is when you don't be intentional about putting structures in place to support our residents, whatever it takes. You know, I think that's what we should be doing, and this is a really great start. And I know it's a grant, and I also know that we have settlement dollars. And I was saying that, you know, as we look at the types of things that we will support, I was like, we're not going to naloxone or whatever it's called to people. That won't be something that I will continue to just support. That's a Band-Aid, right? Not like it doesn't work, but that's a Band-Aid. Yeah. This is not a Band-Aid. This is partnership. This is walking through these types of challenges, addiction challenges, mental health challenges with someone. And so happy to support this and long-term as well. So thank you.
Commissioner. Thank you.
Absolutely. And if there are no additional comments or questions, I move for approval of Resolution 14824.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 14824 has been adopted.
Thanks, Commissioners.
Thanks.
Thank you. Sanitary engineer.
Resolution number 14924, resolution authorizing a third modification to the professional engineering services contract with MS Consultants Incorporated for the sanitary sewer improvements project, an increase of $471,515.77 for a revised total of $2,662,734.02.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Ryan Stowe with the Sanitary Engineer. For Resolution 511-19, Franklin County Department of Sanitary Engineering, on behalf of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners, entered into a professional engineering services contract with MS Consultants Incorporated to provide engineering, design, and construction phase services for several capital projects. Since that time, the contract has been modified twice to revise the scope and increase the contract value to accommodate the needs of current and future planned projects. Sanitary Engineering is requesting approval of a third modification to the contract with MS Consultants to increase the value by $471,515.77 to cover additional expenses related to the Canal Roslyn Sanitary Sewer Project, the Village Park Pump Station Project, and our Timber Brook Pump Station Project. This modification, if approved, will bring the total value of the contract to $2,662,734.02. Funding for the additional services will be provided by the $5 million provided to the Department of Sanitary Engineering by the Board of Commissioners. In addition, the agreement has been reviewed and approved to form by the Prosecutor's Office. Pending any questions or comments, I respectfully request the approval of this resolution.
Move for approval of Resolution 149-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 149-24 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Purchasing Department. Thanks, Ryan.
Resolution number 150-24, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $22,356,410.24.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Perry Balanier, Director of Purchasing. Joining me, pardon me, is Tamika Bumper, Economic Equity Administrator for the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Commissioners, this resolution requests your approval of 255 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding. Tamika has prepared the supplier diversity data for you this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. 15 of the purchase orders being presented today are being awarded to small emerging businesses, totaling $108,747.83. 1% is being awarded to minority-owned businesses and 5% to women-owned businesses. Once these are approved, 6 agencies have provided equitable and inclusive opportunities to small businesses this week. These agencies include the Court of Common Pleas, Data Center, Domestic Relations and Juvenile Courts, Engineer, Recorder's Office, and lastly, the Sheriff's Office. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 150-24.
Thank you.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 150-24 has been adopted. Resolution number 151-24, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $6,743,876.80.
Commissioners, this resolution requests your approval of 10 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding. Pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 151-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 151-24 has been adopted.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 152-24, resolution approving a site access agreement with August Mack Environmental Incorporated for the property leased to Alvis Incorporated and located at 1775 Alum Creek Drive, authorizing the county administrator to execute this and other site access agreements.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jesse Armstrong, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney on behalf of Franklin County Prosecutor Gary Tyak. This resolution would authorize a site access agreement with August Mack Environmental, who is a consultant who's been retained to perform certain environmental testing on the property located at 1775 Allen Creek Drive. That property is leased to Alvis Inc., who is currently going through a project to expand and renovate the Alvis House, which is operated on this property. This resolution would also authorize the county administrator to execute additional similar site access or right of entry type agreements, which would facilitate other projects on different county properties. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval. Thank you.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 152-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 152-24 has been adopted. Resolution number 153-24, resolution appointing Erica C. Crawley to the Celebrate One Governing Board. Morning, Commissioners. Lauren Gressel, Assistant Director of Community Appointments. This is appointing Commissioner Crawley in her official capacity to the Celebrate One Governing Board, and pending any questions, we'll ask for your approval.
There should be no comments or questions, because I move for approval of Resolution 15324.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 15324 has been adopted.
I want it to be noted that Commissioner Boyce would have given you a hard time about this. He would have been like, I'm not approving that, or I'm not seconding that.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right.
And we have one journalization. Case number ANX-05-24, an expedited Type 2 annexation petition, ANX-05-24, was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on February 12, 2024. The petition is requesting to annex 32.33 acres from Hamilton Township to the City of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on March 19, 2024. Site 7404 Rickenbacker Parkway West, PID number 150-002704.
Thank you. All right, that concludes our business for today. See everybody next week.
Great.